Hello and welcome to Sunday morning at the Hungaroring. Another bright and clear day as we get ready for the Hungarian Grand Prix action to start. And of course the day kicks off as ever with GP3. Onboard pictures from Eric Lichtenstein on the grid. And the Carlin driver starting fairly well down the order, finished in 19th place yesterday. And that is where he starts. Looking here at MW Arden's Carlos Sainz in 4th place on the grid after finishing 5th in yesterday's race. So hello everybody, I'm Martin Haven, sitting alongside me Tom Gaymore, struggling with audio and timing screen problems today. Brilliant, it's a Grand Prix morning. What more could you want?
Exactly, and I'm probably the person that you don't want in charge of anything technical. Yeah,
I was thinking that myself.
It's about as good as my French translation. So what a beautiful morning we have here in the Hungaroring. And summer has arrived in Hungary. It's always really warm here.
Yeah, summer arrives about March in Hungary, in fairness. It's pretty scorchio most of the year.
I mean, I was reading something about Formula One. They had the first Grand Prix here in 1986, I think. Maybe you can help me. It was 2006, the first wet race they had here. That's quite incredible.
And actually, bizarrely, despite the reputation the Hungarian very tight and twisty and hard to pass on, it doesn't often produce a Formula One safety car. Lots in junior categories, in fairness, as there was in yesterday's race. Towards the end, a very bizarre incident, which involved Manuel Zonzini and Luis Silva, where Silva's car seemed to basically stop dead in the middle of turn 1, and Zonzini at relatively walking pace, not quite, rolled over the top of him. It's a very scary looking accident for all drivers. One note to report after the race is that Patrick Niederhauser was penalised 20 seconds to drop him way back down the order, finished 9th on the road, starts 25th. So that's ruined his race weekend. And I'd say, in my view, whether the penalty was right or wrong is I'm not going to comment on, but if you ruin somebody else's race, then the stewards should ruin yours, and since they can't ruin your first race, they ruin your second, so that's the way that works. Robert Vichoyu is the man who sits on pole from Kevin Korjus. Karainen having a win yesterday with pole sitter Aro Vainio. Could they make it a double race winning weekend? Facu Regalia, winner of race 1 in the Nürburgring 2 weeks ago, lies 3rd on the grid. Carlos Sainz starts 4th place. From Jack Harvey, Danny Kvyat, Connor Daly and Aro Vainio. And Daly and Vainio starting GP3 race number 41 each, Tom. So they are the most experienced of our drivers. And Tio Elinas, who didn't score yesterday, has gone from 19 to 11 points ahead of Facu Regalia. And the underexposed Argentine Regalia could end up making a really strong championship run here.
He's doing a really good job. I mean, I didn't know too much about Facu Regalia before this year. But certainly when I went to Silverstone earlier on for the winter tests, he was very quick there, and it was evident that he had good ability and managing to put it into practice.
Well, to be honest, he hasn't really been able to demonstrate consistent pace so far in his career. Flashes of it, yes, but not consistency. And I think part of polishing the diamond in the rough has come from ART. Now, Connor Daly is with them. He's an experienced driver. Jack Harvey, GP3 rookie, but another experienced driver, with certainly with lots of miles, and maybe another year or two more than Facu Regalia. And the Argentine driver, sort of, I think, has really come of age here with ART. And that big first milestone, I mean, the next time he wins a race, for instance, he might not fall off his car in parc fermé. You know, it's all these things you learn. He got up on the nose of the car to celebrate and probably slipped off. Luckily, didn't hurt himself, twist an ankle, break an arm or a wrist or something, you know, really embarrassing. So he's A-OK with that. So he learned a lesson the soft way, if you like.
That would have gone down in history as one of the most embarrassing moments for a young driver, but stranger things have happened.
Well, yeah, Sebastian Loeb won the World Rally Championship, didn't he, with a broken arm, broken leg? Can't remember which it was, not competing in the final few rounds. And celebrated victory watching the New Zealand rally at home in France.
I saw Sebastian Bourdais drop a trophy on the podium in America the other day. Glass vase.
Yeah, well, a lot of these trophies, you get big, you know, pot, and then it's got a whacking great base, and somebody's not bothered to screw the two together. Those are always quite good value. The closest thing that Robert Vișoiu has to a home race, the Romanian driver from Bucharest, just 700 kilometers from home here. 170 kilometers from home here in Hungary, just outside the capital Budapest. So from Budapest to Bucharest is the closest drive that he comes for a racing circuit. He starts on pole position from Kevin Corjus, Facu Regalia and Carlos Sainz. We've got Romania, Finland, Argentina and Spain. Those four motorsporting giants of single-seater racing. Let's see who is going to come out on top here. 5 red lights go on. And off they go. Not a bad start from the front row men. Lots of tyres smoking from Danny Kvyat, and another mercurial start from Carlos Sainz. Tries to go around the outside of the front row. Vișoiu has to defend hard. Sainz is still in second. Cuts to the outside. Goes around the outside of the Romanian. Smokes his tyres wide. And the ART car of Facu Regalia trying to get in the mix there. But it is Karainen's Corjus and Carlos Sainz on the inside, determined to bludgeon his way through here. And he's done a really good job, Tom Gaymore. He tried every line there was, and he refused to give up. And we have already lost the number 12 car of Alex Fontana.
Inside of turn 1 there. Yeah, great stuff from Carlos Sainz Jr. Great start from Vișoiu. Had to defend from Corjus, and then he realised that Sainz Jr. was on an absolute flyer. Had to go all the way across the old Schumacher chop. At the Hungaroring. We've seen that before, haven't we? But got away with it. Sainz then went for glory, I should say, at turn 1, all the way around the outside. Didn't make it stick, and then had his elbows out with Corjus down to turn 2. So fair play, Carlos Sainz Jr. really had a good stab at trying to make a run for victory there.
Red, white and black car, that's Elinas off the road. Just saw Oro Vainio having to fight his way back past Emanuele Zonzini. Vainio, yesterday's winner, started 8th, had a dreadful run through the first couple of corners, clearly, because he is out of the top 10 down in what was then 12th place. So he's now in 11th. And there is the lead group coming up to the line. Number 2 car, Facu Regalia.
To be fair, we saw yesterday Oro Vainio become our first 2-time winner of the year. Yeah. Before that, we'd had 8 different winners in 8 races.
Oh yes, I've forgotten he'd won
And
before.
Now Vișoiu's won a race as well. We saw him do a very good job in Valencia, didn't we? And he's doing a very good job in the opening laps here too. Yeah.
And he's pulling away very fast from Carlos Sainz, nearly 2 seconds in the opening lap, and Sainz wasn't hanging around. Carlin Carb, Nick Yellerly looking very wayward there. Who's he battling with? Melville McKee. 2 British drivers, 2 British teams. Dark blue Carb Yellerly with a yellow helmet and yellow camera pod coming towards us. And behind him, Bamboo Engineering's Melville McKee.
A lot of oversteer there.
Behind him is Dino Zamparelli, so that's a triple Brit whammy there.
Yeah, Yellerly had a lot of oversteer up at the top of the hill into turn 4. It just hasn't quite worked out for Yellerly and Carlin this weekend. Don't forget, this time last year, Da Costa did the impossible, didn't he? Won both races.
Again, watch Sainz. 2nd row back on the left. He's come from 2nd, not from 6th this time, and challenges the leader. Vișoiu didn't give him a lot of room, just enough to survive. And then Sainz goes to the outside of the Romanian. He's got his nose an inch or so in front there as he outbrakes himself down the hill. And, oh, I didn't see how close that came. That was Fontana. I was looking at the lead group there. No contact with Tio Elinas in that one, I'm hoping. On board with Eric Lichtenstein. It's Melville McKee getting away right in front of him. And who's that alongside? Is that Gomez or Fong? Not sure. Lichtenstein looking up the inside.
It's Gomez, you were right first time.
Ooh,
Fontana
no, again, didn't see where that happened, but it was right in front of Tio Elinas. With Elinas, I'm thinking Fontana might try and... oh no, this is... oh no, that's a replay. That's not the corner 1-2 that I wanted to see.
It's Kajala he's passing.
Yeah, I
there.
wanted to see where that happened because, of course, there was a lot of fisty waving between him and Fontana, Elinas and Fontana, at the end of the first race.
Viso, you checking out.
Yeah.
He's got two very well-known teammates in Kvyat, and that's another Trident car. That's Venturini or Zonzini. So,
yeah.
and is that at the exit of turn 1?
Oh, that's the same one. He just hasn't moved in a lap. And he's left the car jammed in gear as well. Oh!
No, it wasn't, because Fontana went off first. So Cullen and Zonzini have had it coming together.
You think you think they may not be unrelated? That's a reasonably good guess. Down into corner 1. So Rob Cullen there. Oh, well.
He's nearly gone over again, Zonzini.
That was 6 and 1/2 dozen the others. Zonzini went from extreme driver's left to the apex in a sort of different line to the way the corner goes. So yeah. I'm not thinking Rob Cullen could have expected him to be coming quite so far back to the apex there. So that was definitely a racer's incident. Vichoyu leading from Science. Courjus has just set the fastest lap of the race, but behind him, Regalia has gone quicker still. So the lead quartet are closing up, and the Argentine again looking quick here. Robert Vichoyu still leading and continuing to stay clear of Carlos Sainz in second place. 2.5 seconds the margin. Kevin Courjus in third, Facu Regalia with Jack Harvey right behind him, fourth and fifth. Giovanni Venturini is in there, Danny Kvyat, and then Connor Daly in ninth place ahead of Aro Vainio. There's another massive battle, this long queue of cars. You're looking there at our championship leader, Tio Elinas, right in the middle of it.
Still not in the points, though. No. Interestingly enough, that yellow flag, I'm pretty sure, as we see Zamparelli trying to make a move on Melville McKee, I'm pretty sure that was Cullen who's decided to park it because his car was looking pretty much second best.
It only had 3/4 of the required number of wheels, didn't it? So I think that's what you're right. That's what the crane was there for. He didn't make it round to the pits as he was hoping. Looking there at Dino Zamparelli. On this side, Union flag. On the other side, the tricolor of Italy. So the red, white and green of Italy, as befits his parental heritage. Dino Zamparelli in that Marussia car, and his teammate a little further back behind him. I beg pardon, a little further forward in front of him in 11th place to Elinas, but as you said, not yet in the points. And that's not great news, is it, for a weekend where his closest rival in the championship, Facu Regalia, is again in 4th place here.
Yeah, Elinas just gone slightly off the boil, hasn't he? Just hasn't had the ultimate pace, and there's no getting away from the fact that he's a really talented driver and he's had a really good start to the season, but it's just going away from him. They need to find some pace, because without that ultimate pace in qualifying, he's going to really struggle, because we've got 4 rounds. We're only halfway through this season, Martin, as we see. Zonzini ended up upside down yesterday, nearly ended up upside down at exactly the same corner again today. It's he'll be pleased to see the airport, won't he?
Yeah, probably. I don't think this will be a weekend he looks back on with very great fondness, that's for sure. Well, the fast lap flurry has ceased. Nobody going quicker now than Facu Regalia went 2 or 3 laps ago. Simon Gomez holding off Dino Zamparelli. Gomez there, and there is Zamparelli in the 16 car. Well, it's Melville McKee, isn't it, in 21, who's the car just in front of Dino Zamparelli. Looking at the top 3 going through our shot. And here is the next group. Jack Harvey just pulling away from Venturini, Kvyat, Daly, Vainio, and so on and so on and so on. This long, snarling queue of cars behind them. That's Nick Yellowly in the front of this long pack. And that goes all the way back, basically almost without gap, to Adderley Fong in 20th place. Yellowly is 13th. So this is where the incidents are going to come from, isn't it? A long queue of cars with drivers starting to get frustrated.
We're seeing the full effect of the Hungaroring. Renowned as I said yesterday, the Monaco without walls. It's a very difficult circuit to pass because the braking zones aren't really that large. It's full of medium speed corners with a few slow speed corners. There's one reasonably high speed corner, but I can't really classify it as a high speed corner. So very difficult to get full advantage in those small braking zones to get right alongside the car in front. It's also difficult to follow in these sections here with the problems and the imbalance that we're having.